Oh, that's the hottest.
That'll be the hottest.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought we were going.
Yeah. Quick switch up.
Well,
But you're doing great. You're doing great.
Wow.
We have 2 more.
Okay.
We're gonna be good. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Zach Osendorf, and you're watching The Wash. It's a show where it all comes out, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. It's Will Hacker of American Dawn. Will, how are we doing today?
Zach, I'm super nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good, yeah. It's good to have you. Good to see you again. I know we saw each other in Atlanta a couple months ago,
Right,
but how are you with hot things, hot foods?
You'd think a guy from Texas, born there, raised there my whole life, you could do hot things. I can't. No. So this is truly not to put a bad punt, but I'm a chicken, and I just think that the only reason I'm here is because I really like you and what you guys do here. So just know that, that's why I'm here.
Thank you. Well, we like you too. That's
Okay,
why you're on
good.
the show. So with that, let's jump in. All right, Will, so before we jump in, we ran out of towels, but, we found these American Dawn towels, too, so shout out American Dawn.
Hey.
Want to go ahead and plug your product?
No, this super soft, last a long time in the wash. These are our Bourgeois. These are really, really nice, and hopefully they have some kind of super secret agent in them that prevents me from dying during this episode. So we're going to hope that these towels from American Dawn hold up to the heat here today.
Well, let's see. We'll go ahead and eat our first wing. So you're going to go from top to bottom, left to right, just like reading a book.
Okay.
Pretty easy?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in.
Whew. So even on the first one,
I just dropped mine, but I got a bite.
okay.
So this one's going to be like, fruity. So the first two are going to be, they're not going to be your traditional hot sauce.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
first question, Will, is tell me a little bit about your background. Give me the origin story of Will Hacker.
Yeah, no, I said earlier, born and raised in Texas, grew up there, graduated from Texas Tech University, Red Raider, still follow the Red Raiders pretty closely, but started my career in the food service business of all places. We didn't serve hot wings, but we made barbecue and steaks, and I worked for my wife's uncle, and that's how we met, and worked for them for several years. Cut my teeth in the independent restaurant business. Then wanted to go into a more professional career, so I went to work for Airmark, Airmark Healthcare.
Yep.
Managed a lot of food services for them all over the country, and really kind of elevated my career over 10 years to running the Methodist Hospital in Houston, and then got pulled into the sales side, more strategic role, and worked with all the top healthcare accounts in the country, and did that. And so, it was a great experience, learned a lot with Airmark, and, was very happy for that experience. But then, I guess about 12 years ago, put my name out on the market looking for a new opportunity, and I went to work for a company called Landau Uniforms. And Landau was a company that had a very strong retail brand, but they were really trying to break into this commercial laundry space.
Yep.
So I helped create their strategy and helped create their business in the commercial space, and really grew that business over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I guess late last year, that business was a new business called Kind Thread that was part of an equity investment, and I decided that I was looking to continue to expand my career, and ADI came calling, and they were looking for somebody to come in and help with their commercial strategy and business development. And so been there since, I guess, last October, and excited, and not just in scrubs now, but everything industrial laundry, and I built a really great amount of friends and networked in this space, so I'm looking forward to the future now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I first met you when you did work at Landau at CSC, and I think that was, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And we approached you about this, and you said, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
So we've been working on Will for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
So
See,
we finally got it.
Yeah, you guys weren't buying a lot of scrubs back then, but now you guys are, you're buying a lot of other things, so I'm here to, but
That's
seriously, I've been a big fan of what you and Emily have done with all the wash, and you guys are just one of the best in terms of marketing, and actually one of my new roles is I'm over our marketing at ADI, and I really admire you guys. Want to collaborate and learn more and work together. So
well, we're here if you have any questions.
Always, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, how was that one?
Not too bad, yeah.
All right,
not
cool.
too bad, yeah.
All right, we're teasing you a little bit.
I know.
Where are we? I don't know.
No, I'm good. No, that wasn't bad. Like this, I could do that.
Yeah,
I could do that. Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next one.
All right, here we go.
So this is going to be another. I think it's called Ghost Pineapple.
Ghost pineapple. Ooh.
I'll try to hang on to this one this time.
I will say these towels are doing a really good job
Yeah,
of keeping my hands
sick.
clean. I mean, they're really soaking that up.
All right, Will.
Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right. So can you share with me why you are so dedicated to the laundry industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that essential nature of what we do, meaning that there is a lot that happens, and it's specific to healthcare, where what we do, it's all behind the scenes, but it's essential to people that are in that space that need to get well. And I think that's what drew me to the healthcare business originally. And I've working at Landau on the scrub side, and now at ADI, they have a large healthcare business. It's I have a heart for what I do. I have to feel good about what I do every day. And to me, providing goods that help people, whether it be a patient laying in bed with the sheets and or the towels or the scrubs that the caregivers wear. I mean, all of those things are so essential to what you need in that healthcare space. And so for me, I have this deep care and concern. Also, I think one of the big things for me is that a lot of folks that have worked in this industry grew up in it.
Yep.
I didn't. I've only been in it 12 years.
Yep.
So I still feel like I have a lot to learn.
Yep.
But there's such a passion for this industry, and people are just so dedicated to it. And that our company, it's a multi-generational family-owned business. They've been around for a long time, and now this next generation that's coming up. I'm excited to work with the family, the Raji family, and they've been great. So it's really about family, and it's about caring for people.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I came from the sports industry. Didn't even know this industry existed, let alone the healthcare. Like how much that goes into the healthcare industry as well. Industrial, everything. So
Right.
I was 3 years ago didn't have any clue that this existed, and now I know a lot about it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a great learning experience for sure.
We'll go to the next one.
All right. What is this one called?
This one's called Tequila Pinot. So there's a little
Tequila.
hint of tequila.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so.
Okay. You do a sniff test before you know.
Sometimes, if I notice a wing doesn't look quite right, I'll sniff it.
Okay.
All right, Will. So you mentioned you went to Texas Tech. You're a Texas Tech grad.
Yep.
Did you know Patrick Mahomes was going to be this good, and why didn't you warn the rest of the NFL?
Well, it was. Here's the thing about Mahomes is that I watched every down from all the way from if you go back in time, Baker Mayfield, right?
Yep.
Was had an amazing walk-on freshman year.
Yep.
Mahomes comes in, was going to be competing for that job. Mayfield leaves, goes to Oklahoma.
Yep.
So Mahomes from day one was somebody that was just fun to watch, just out there, but also really nerve-wracking. Like I'll be honest, like watching him play, it was like, don't, oh yes, and that's,
no, yes.
and I think he's continued to do that. I'll be honest though, as a Texans fan now, a Houston Texans fan,
yeah, he just beat you.
and watching them beat us, I have started to step away from my Texas Tech fandom and not been as big a fan of some of the stuff he does on the field. And there's all this talk about referees giving him a little not unfair treatment, so I'm starting to see it from a different angle.
Right? Yeah.
But I actually, my claim to fame from Texas Tech is that I went and played high school football with a guy by the name of Zach Thomas.
Yep, know him, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Yep. And last summer, me and a friend, we went up there and we got to see him inducted in the Canton Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's so cool.
So really, and they had his high school jersey hanging in there.
That's freaking awesome.
It was an amazing experience. But Zach is a tremendous.
Yeah.
He was a tremendous football player, great human being.
Yeah.
And just loved that family. And so it was really cool to see someone you played with as a kid. We went to Texas Tech at the same time, and then he's so successful. And,
Yep.
And just one of those really kind of cool experiences. And I'm a big football fan, so you tapped into something there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a huge Iowa football fan. Some years are better than other years.
The Hawkeyes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Went to the University of Iowa, die hard there. I got kind of spoiled my freshman year.
Right.
Went to the Rose Bowl and then got beat by the Christian McCaffrey.
I always thought if Texas Tech offense could play for the Iowa defense.
Be a heck of a
We'd
team.
be national champions every year.
I know.
Like literally every year.
500 total yards of offense, and then letting up,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. If we could combine those two teams, we'd be made, man.
let's go to Wing 4.
And what is Wing 4?
Wing 4 is Lola's, so that's like
Lolas. Okay.
that's native to Des Moines. So they're
Oh,
a big,
local
yep,
flavor. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And a big thing too is to keep it off your lips. If you keep the sauce off your lips,
Okay. Okay. Try to
be
do that.
pretty good.
Use the teeth, huh?
yep.
Shit, I keep thinking I've got it in my teeth on the camera. so-
Right?
Okay.
All right, so I know you're pretty involved with the industry, with industry groups. Why is it
Right.
important to give back your time and knowledge to the industry?
No, I mean, I think just like working with you and Emily, like you guys are the next generation of leaders in this industry, and I've always felt that that's really important. I serve on the TRSA Strategic Planning Committee, and one of the things that Joe Ricci and that team does that's really well is they combine the Strategic Planning Committee with the next gen leaders.
Yep.
And because honestly, as we get older, this next generation that's going to take us to the next level, it's really important. But I would say too, like mentoring is a big goal of mine. And when I came to ADI, the owner's daughter, Natasha Raji, she has just been accepted into the next gen leaders of TRSA.
Yep.
And so one of my big roles here is to help her kind of learn business and work directly with her. She's an amazing, intelligent lady, but also getting to work with her as she learns the business, as she kind of comes up through the TRSA. Next week we're going to the legislative conference.
Yep.
So that's a really great experience for her. And I was explaining it to her, and she was like, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that the younger generation understands everything that the organizations can do,
Yep.
and then how it benefits not just the company, but how does it benefit the whole, the good of everyone, and advocating on behalf of the industry, but we're also advocating for what's better for the world. If you're talking about towels that are reusable, and we're not using disposable towels right now, this is a much better outcome in terms of throwing something in a landfill.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, couldn't have said it better myself. So.
Yeah.
All right, how we doing?
I'm still
That's
hanging in.
40% the way through.
Doing way better than I thought.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Let's move on to Wing 5. This one it's called the Reaper.
Is that the one with the skull on it?
Yep.
Can we skip that one?
Nope.
Okay.
We're going right in.
Okay, wait. I just picked up the wrong one. Almost on purpose.
Remember, you can take as big of a bite as you want.
Okay.
I'll match your bite.
All right.
So.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, cool. So this is the part of the episode where it's called Explain That Gram. All right, so Will, I reached out to you earlier this week about a photo that kind of meant something to you, and so we pulled this photo.
Yeah.
Just kind of explain this to me. I see there's like ships and stuff in the background, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
investigative investigative work, and your hat says Vancouver. So are you in
Yep.
Canada?
I am in Canada.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm in Canada. Unfortunately, my brother and I, we don't have a ton of family left and around in that, and he and I, for the last few years, have taken vacations with our family, with his wife, my son, and so this is over Christmas, and we went up to Vancouver for the very first time, and we took a little hike along the walkway there, and it was gorgeous. But this picture really, it's all about, and I know my family was a little bit skeptical about being on the show, but I was with my family here, and it's become very important over time that you take the time away from work to spend with your family.
Yeah.
Because what can happen 100% is you get sucked into the daily grind, and I've been there, right, where you're not able to take that time that you want. So this really signifies that I'm lucky enough to work for a company that cares and allows us to take some time during Christmas, and so yeah, it was a great trip.
Family time's important.
Oh, huge.
I'm sure you had a blast there.
We did. We started off in Vancouver and ended up in Whistler, and went skiing for the first time there. And my son, I taught my son how to ski when he was 5, and now he's 16.
Oh, jeez.
And we live in Houston, so there's not a lot of He's like, Dad, I think this is my sport. And I'm like, son, you can't pick this sport, but that's the one he loves to ski. So we try to go at least once a year, and it had been a year or two because of a lot of busyness that we had been, so this was getting back to that yearly ski trip.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're halfway through. Kind of talk to me about what you're feeling.
In terms of the heat, a little bit on the lips. The tongue is I can still feel it. It's not numb.
It's there.
But that last one, it was like I would say it was on a scale.
It's approaching where you could possibly start sweating right now.
Yeah.
I can feel my head. It's
I'm getting a little heat around,
Yep.
but you'll be able to see the sweat from me because of the baldness. So how that works, we'll see when the sweat starts pouring down in my eyes. We're gonna have to cut the camera.
All right, cool. So this one will be. It's called Meanwhile in Iowa. Another.
Okay, another local.
Yep. So
okay,
it's this
another
one right
local.
here.
Okay.
I don't know why I just licked my finger.
You
If that was going to be
gonna
a
get a
good
little
idea,
extra.
right? Yeah. All right. So
Okay, there's some intensity on that one.
yeah. So sales is also called the relationship business.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage your relationships with your customers nationwide?
No, I mean, I think we talked about the organizations like TRSA, and there's also the CSC. You know, you get to engage with them at those events, but I would say it's really, especially post-COVID, you know, it became much more common to do a lot of interaction via Teams or Zoom or online, which is great. But I think the business that we're in, there's nothing that can be replaced than going, like I'm coming here and sitting down and spending time one-on-one with a customer to be like, hey, you know, what are your biggest challenges? What are the things you're facing? Like, are there ways we can help you? I think, you know, relationships come down to relationships can never be one-sided. They need to be, you know, how can I help you? How can you help me? But I would tell you, there's a lot of things that I've done in my career that probably didn't bring in $1 extra of revenue, but I knew that would help that person. And I think that the passion to be in sales for me comes from helping people and helping others, and you know, providing things that can help people. You know, and I'm just not ever going to be that guy that's the hard driving car salesman guy. I'm going to be the guy that's there when you need me, make sure you know everything we have, and try to help you through those issues you've got. Now this one is warming me up, Zach.
I can see kind of, you know, my brow, your brow and my brow. I can feel it pretty.
Yeah, you can feel it, right? It's starting to,
okay. All right, we'll move on to the 7th one or 6th one, whatever it is. I don't know. This one's called Unique Garlic.
That doesn't sound intimidating, and it's got a purple bottle. It's not like.
Just give it time.
Okay. Don't get overconfident here.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, the nose is starting to run. That one.
Yeah.
That's a different level.
That'll punch you.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Hopefully there's no close-in zoom on the snot. Yeah.
Let's quick zoom in, Zach.
Yeah. No.
All right. So let's dive into relationships a bit more.
Wow.
Who are some of those people that you have had the honor to work alongside, and how have those people helped you throughout your career?
Yeah, I would. So I'll go back in time. There was a lady that I worked with at Aramark. Her name was Vanessa Robinson, and she, you know, really taught me so much about how to manage people and how to care for people from where they are. You know, I grew up pretty poor.
Yep.
My dad was a concrete driver. My mom worked in school food service. I was the first to graduate high school, first to graduate college, first to have an MBA, certainly first to ever be an executive.
Yep.
And so I've always remembered what it's like to, you know, to come from that background. And so she really taught me a lot about how to care for employees and how to, you know, but also how to hold people accountable. You know, she was really big on setting clear expectations, following up, and making sure that people understood where we're going, but also that you're holding them accountable daily. And she taught me kind of these daily rounding techniques where you would round with employees and just ask them about their day, their families, but also you would get to the point of holding them accountable to that job.
Yep.
You know, and she was hugely, like a huge impact, you know, in my life. At Landau, similar, I had a vice president there by the name of Daryl Williams, and he's what you would call someone that doesn't have a very long fuse. He has a pretty short fuse.
Yep.
And I'm pretty even keeled.
Yeah.
But he taught me a lot about not beating around the bush and just getting to the point.
Yep.
And you know, one of the hardest things to do in sales, or really any other job, is to take materials that are this big that you need to cover and narrow it down to a very small amount that can be understood and be succinct.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught me a lot about how to be succinct. But he also, I had come from Aramark that was very difficult to have work-life balance,
Yep.
quite honestly. And he would not be happy with me if I'd send an email on the weekend, or I'd send an email in the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm.
or he'd catch me working late.
Yeah, times you shouldn't be working.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
And so back to that family thing, right?
Yep.
Like, and now I've always appreciated that.
All right, Will. So now we're
Yeah.
approaching wing 8. This one's called the bomb.
Yeah. Well, where do you tap out?
You can tap out whenever you want.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna.
So traditionally, this one's pretty hot. So I will warn you, but that's the only warning I'll give you.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
All right, let's get into it.
Oh no.
This one you want to keep off your lips.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Yeah, that one will punch you.
Oh boy. And accidentally, when I went to take a little tiny bite, a huge chunk came off on that
Oh,
one. So
God.
that was
That's not what
that
you
was
wanna be
unfortunate, Zach.
All right, so I'll get this question asked pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So,
let's move this along.
so your title is Vice President of Commercial Strategy and Business Development.
That's right.
What the heck does that mean?
Yeah, it's a huge title. And now, if I can talk, really, the job is a dotted line with sales, working on the strategy, but also commercial strategy for us is marketing, customer service, product development, design. Like, how do we bring all of those things together to work together cohesively to drive our business forward? And so that's really the biggest part of my role is ADI has a strong desire to continue to grow. And so part of that growth that we're trying to achieve comes through bringing all those parties together. And so the ownership didn't have a role like that.
Yep.
And so they really wanted someone that could come in and bring all those pieces together that had a strategic vision.
Right.
Wow.
It's also much harder, like when you start talking more and the answer, you're like, I want to answer this like to the best of my ability, but then your answer will get a little shorter as we move through.
Talk about
here.
being succinct. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that answer, but yeah, no, it'll bite you. It'll bite you. How we feeling? Talk to me.
I'm hurting.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is,
I am too. This
at
is,
this point,
I kind of,
I don't know.
yeah, I kind of forget that. Well, nothing will be hotter than that one. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's the hottest.
That'll be the hottest.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought we were going.
Yeah. Quick switch up.
Well,
But
they-
you're doing great. You're doing
Oh,
great.
wow.
We have 2 more.
Okay.
We're gonna be good. Nothing will be hotter. You won't put anything hotter in your mouth
Okay.
than that one.
All right.
This will be our hot moment here. All right.
Okay.
I'll let you get your feet back under you.
Oh, they're gone. Oh, wow.
All right, wing 9. So this one's called the Violator.
Oh, I've already been violated. Yeah,
Oh God. That one with the other one mixed in.
a little rough.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Zach.
are you? Oh my God. All right. Can I read that? Can you share with us a time you set an audacious goal for yourself and achieved it? God, I can't even read now.
Yeah, it was doing this wing challenge.
Yeah.
And
You get kind of a head high right now.
yeah. I think, we had a goal to really grow the business, the scrub business at Landau, and we were fortunate enough to become one of the top providers in the industry over the course of 10 years. And didn't really think it could be done, but there were a lot of people. I built an amazing team that worked with me, Brooke, Ryan, Jason, Steve, and they worked on my team. They were amazing, and I've never had a better team in my life. And so I think we accomplishing that goal to grow that business together was probably the greatest experience so far. Now being here at ADI, we have a strong future ahead of us, and we've got some very aggressive goals. We've hired a lot of top talent in the industry. There's a lot of people talking about it, and so what's next for us is just to continue to really take ADI to the next level. I'm thinking that maybe I've really gotten into bourbons, and maybe I've drank enough bourbon over the last couple years that maybe I'm deadened some of my senses, but I could use
Use one of those right now.
Oh yeah, Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm going to need something when we go off camera.
Maybe we'll get you a shot of something. I don't know.
Okay.
But my tongue, I can't feel my tongue right now. You probably, I don't know what's happening in my
You're
tongue.
kind of
right now.
numb, yeah.
All right, Will. Well, you've reached the top of the hot sauce mountain.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get through this next question without
Let's do it.
losing my tongue, but
Okay.
we'll go ahead and eat it.
All right. What is this one called, Zach?
Extreme regret.
Oh, we're already
How
there.
much do you have of that right now?
Oh, I took way too big a bite, too.
My breath is hot.
How does the healthcare here in Iowa? Do you guys have some good local hospitals?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys service some of them.
Yeah. Holy crap. All right, Will. So where do you see yourself in American Dawn in the future? What exciting things do you have cooking up, and what
Yeah.
would you like to share with us?
Yeah, no, I think so. When I met with the owners and their CFO Miles to start this journey, I told them, I said, I've worked for 2 companies in 25 years. I've got probably another good 10, 15 years of work left. I only want to work for one more company. And so the owner looked at me and said, well, this is your home. And that's what I want. I want this to be my home. I want to finish my career here. I want ADI to continue to grow, whether that be through growing internally, externally, but we are super focused on growth and taking care of our customers to do that. And so, and one of the first things is that, obviously it's no secret in the industry, I worked for a scrub company. So, give you a little teaser, and there'll be probably the plan is to do an actual media release right around the CSC event of a brand new scrub line for ADI. So we're working on the marketing, the branding, and all that right now, and we'll be really excited to bring that to market. And hopefully a lot of the customers that I used to do business with will want to do business again, and hopefully really see if that can take off.
Right. Never see one of these hot sauces again, right?
Oh, I think if I ever see another one of these again, it would be too early. But also, I'm surprised I'm still alive at this point.
Well, you did great, Will. Thank you so much for coming to Iowa and spending a little bit of time with us here.
Yeah.
And if you guys like that, please like and subscribe to our channel down below. And that was Will Hacker with The Wash. So thanks, Will.
Thanks for having me, Zach. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. All right, man.